I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I am really happy to be chatting with you today. My voice is a little iffy. I'm getting over a cold right now. So I think just my voice is going to sound different, but everything is okay over here. It's not hurting and it's not the sickness. It's just a regular cold. So bear with me. Hopefully by next week, everything will be back to normal. And if you like my sick voice better, which I personally do, then I'm sorry because it's only here for a limited time. All right, let's get into things today. So last week, I had the best experience. I got to teach in my coach's program for the first time as a guest coach. And it was such an incredible honor to be able to serve and give back in that program. And such a full circle moment for me to reflect on everything that I had learned from that program as a student. So about a year and a half ago, I joined that program. And at the time, I was in a lot of drama about it, wondering, was it crazy or irresponsible for investing $2,000? I had probably made about $2,000 that month, but I had bought a new computer and spent like all of it on that. So it was like, oh, that month I'm going in the red. I'm spending on this coaching thing. I don't know if it's the right choice. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I really liked her and loved her podcast and really felt like, yes, this is going to work for me. I remember having a conversation with my husband in my office, and he was really iffy about it and really wanted me to like convince him and sell him on it. And I remember just a lot of like uncertainty around that, but also so much excitement to sign up. But I decided to go ahead, to go for it and dedicate myself to being the best student. I was like, there is no way that I'm going to invest this money and not get something from it and not get what I came for. So I went all in and was just like, I'm not going to half-ass anything about this. I'm going to do every single thing that she says to do. So 12 months later, I had a six-figure business. My first 12 months in that program, I created $100,000 in that exact amount of time, which was so mind-boggling to me and amazing. And since then, I've continued to work with her in other ways and gone on to make multiple six figures, which is incredible. And I'm so grateful for her and the program she built, and to me for taking the scary leap, committing to that process, doing the work, deciding to be the best student, even when I didn't feel like it. It was such a turning point. So I just wanted to reflect on that experience, and I actually started crying after, just like joyful tears of how incredible this whole thing was and how I get to give back now to the students who are in it. And it went so well and I loved it and people were helped. And now I am just going to get to be a regular coach in her programs, which is fantastic. Okay, are you ready to get into today's episode? Because this topic is so good. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something that I think will completely change the game for you when it comes to building your business. It is a concept that I call opportunity glasses. The majority of my initial clients in my first year came from me networking in Facebook groups. And that's where I actually noticed this phenomenon that I now call opportunity glasses that I'm going to teach to you. what would happen is that some days I would go into Facebook groups and see tons of people asking about my area of expertise, tons of people looking for help, tons of people with problems that I could solve for them. And on other days, I'd go into groups and it would be like a barren wasteland. Nothing to comment on, no one to help. I remember thinking this, no one wants a coach anymore. I started to notice this pattern, and logically, I thought that there was just no way that it was actually true, that people only wanted coaches on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but on Wednesdays, Mondays, Fridays, they did not. So I got curious, and what I discovered is that it was actually me. The groups didn't change from day to day. I changed from day to day. Some days I saw opportunity, and some days I didn't. Recently, I've seen this with my clients a lot. Many of them are networking in Facebook groups as well and running into this same issue. On this episode, I want to dig into why we're wearing opportunity glasses sometimes and why we're wearing no opportunity glasses other times. And then I'm going to explain to you what to do to be able to see opportunity all the time. No matter how you are building your business, this is going to be a game changer. It doesn't matter if you're building it in Facebook groups, networking, or if you're doing other things, this is going to be so applicable to you. And I think it is so applicable to the times that we're in right now with this virus, with this pandemic, with restrictions on business. I have been noticing just with some of like our local restaurants, the ones who are wearing opportunity glasses and the ones who aren't, based on how they are showing up right now with what's going on and whether they are clinging to the stories they're telling about this can't work right now, or they're looking for how to guarantee their own results and how to be successful and stay alive, keep their business alive no matter what. Once you start looking, you will see this everywhere. So first, let's talk about why we sometimes wear no opportunity glasses. It's because of a psychological term called confirmation bias. This means that our brains are wired to look for evidence for whatever we believe. And our brains are wired to completely ignore and disregard anything that goes against what we believe. And I want to be really clear right now that beliefs are just thoughts that we think over and over and over. They become automatic. So we think something over and over enough that it becomes automatic. It kind of becomes a part of our basic operating system in our brain. And so then our brain is just looking for more and more evidence to support that belief. So when we're believing that no one wants to buy what we're selling, or that selling is wrong, or that we don't know how to do this business building thing the right way, we have no opportunity glasses on. We are finding evidence that no one wants it, icky examples of selling, people ranting about selling being bad, and no openings for us to slide in and start a conversation. It's just dead ends everywhere we look. What goes on for most of us is that some days we're feeling great about our business and thinking positive thoughts about what we do and our offer, and some days we aren't. We're on a roller coaster of thoughts and emotions, and it's why some days we see opportunities everywhere and some days we don't. We aren't directing our thoughts intentionally, so our default thinking is clicked on. Default thinking is usually based on fear and scarcity and avoiding anything new, different, or risky. So so you can see why it's hard for us to see opportunity. We are biologically wired to stay the same, and a lot of us have baggage about business and selling and our thoughts about ourselves, and all of those together really have us not seeing opportunity very often. I can tell when my clients have no opportunity glasses on, when they keep asking me how, even when I give them direct instructions on how, they literally ask me how again. They are thinking to themselves, I don't know how. And their brain is shut down to taking in what I'm saying to them. I was coaching somebody the other day who was stuck in this and saying, I don't know, and how. And I told them it's like every door in your brain slams shut when you say that. And so when you're saying, I don't know how, all the doors are shut and you can't even take in a literal step-by-step, this is what you do. Your brain is totally shut down to it. Taking off your no opportunity glasses and putting on your opportunity glasses is as simple as shifting your thoughts. Since your opportunity glasses are based on your beliefs, and beliefs are just thoughts that we think over and over, changing them means thinking different, intentional thoughts over and over. Each of my clients has a different way that they prefer to do this. There's no right or wrong. So listen to these suggestions and brainstorm your own as well. Some of my clients love putting Post-it notes around. Some of them do that like in their bathroom, in their bedroom. Some of them put that on their computer so they see it every day when they show up to work. Wherever it is that it's going to catch their eye and prompt them to think the new thought. Some like to set alarms on their phone. You can set an alarm with a custom message and you can have that go off periodically to prompt you to remember the intentional thought. I love writing out my intentional thoughts daily before I start my workday, and then also anytime throughout the day that I'm just not feeling great. I have shared before that I journal until I feel an emotional shift. So that is really important here. It's really important that you are feeling the way that you need to feel. I also love taking in lots of content that supports my intentional thoughts. I love listening to podcasts from my coaches and replays of coaching calls and trainings that they've done to support the intentional thoughts that I'm turning into new beliefs. I also limit anything that makes my new intentional belief feel shaky. I've stopped listening to certain podcasts that I used to really like. I've stopped following certain people on social media. And even right now, I've deleted the Facebook app from my phone and put Newsfeed Eradicator on Facebook on my computer to help me stay really focused on what I want to be thinking versus being offered lots of other thoughts that trigger my unintentional thoughts. It's almost like you want to think about the ratio of the thoughts that you want to be thinking and then your default thoughts that you're working on getting rid of. You want to think about the ratio of those two thoughts in your mind. And you want to constantly be increasing the amount of the intentional thoughts that you want to be thinking that are going to allow you to see opportunity and feel great. So you need to pay attention both to being aware of what's going on in your brain and shifting back to the ones that you want to be thinking, and you want to be really conscious of what you're putting in to your brain. I found myself right now doing a lot of scrolling on Facebook, reading a lot of headlines and posts and panic and all of that. And I knew that is not going to get me feeling positive, seeing opportunity, being a leader who inspires other people. That is against everything that I want to create in my life. And if there's anything truly important that I really need to know, somebody's going to tell me. But otherwise, I need to stay focused on what I'm doing and my goals and moving forward and staying really mentally strong for all of you. So those have been the things that have really helped me to stay focused on what I know to be true and what I want to be thinking and leading all of you in a very positive direction, very results and solution focused direction instead of a spiral. So I encourage all of you to tap into your intentional thoughts as much as possible. For those of you who are networking online, you'll want to review those thoughts and really get into feeling how they are true before you start your networking for the day. This is putting on the opportunity glasses. You want to be sure that when you're doing this, you choose new intentional thoughts that are believable to you. You just have to remind yourself to focus on them. You don't want to be asking your brain to believe something that's so out of the realm of believable for you that it shuts you down. The actual words of the thoughts matter less than how you feel and what you do when you think the thought. So be in tune with the feeling and what you do and what results you create from each thought. It's going to be an experiment for you while you figure out what works best, and that's okay. That's not a problem at all. Here's what this can look like. Before you head into a Facebook group or wherever it is that you're networking or looking for opportunity, you think things like the following, taking from this list whatever really resonates with you. Here are a few of my favorite thoughts. I am here to help. I have value to give. Who can I help today? Clients are everywhere. I know exactly what to do. People want what I have. I can help anyone. I am generous. I am valuable. I am an expert. People value my thoughts. Feel free to brainstorm your own that make you feel abundant, helpful, useful, brave, and whatever other feelings you find help you to see opportunity everywhere. Because opportunity is everywhere. There are people out there ready to say yes to your offer. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, mamatoceo.com.